All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast.
Man, this is a birdie fest.
It's a Philly show, baby.
Let's
go.
All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It. Thanks again to Brooke Goff for hopping on with us.
Yes.
She had some other stories after we left, after we got done too, man. She's got some game, and she's got some great stories. But we are back. It is moments away from the tee times for the Creator Classic. They are lined up right in front of us, right here, getting on their golf carts. Just saw Claire Hogle. We got Josh Richards right here. We were able to chat with Paige briefly, Danielle. A lot of very, very, very little Philly info, knowledge. Hasn't played here, hasn't had a cheesesteak. She's just been helicoptered in.
Does she look like she's had cheesesteaks?
No. No, she doesn't.
No.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She's probably not going to imbibe.
That's the kind of insights that we come to expect.
From Harry,
from
please.
here. I'm swinging thing. That's a great point.
Thank you, Harry.
But we saw our friend Chad Mumm, who's the
Oh,
brains
nice.
behind this operation. The greatest idea ever that everyone has now stolen. Good for you, Chad. That's how you know imitation is the greatest form of flattery, correct,
Right.
Harry
Sure.
Mays? But I tell you what, though, these guys are out there grinding, right? They don't. There's a lot of cameras. There's a lot of people. They don't want to go out there and just hit it around. Like
No.
they're looking to play good golf.
Yeah, and Kyle Lowry, who's got one of the teams out here, of course, former Cardinal Doherty great at Villanova, six-time All-Star in the NBA, is concluding his career with the Sixers. He's won an NBA championship. He's won a gold medal. I mean, think about what he's done in basketball. He's out here grinding. This is his club, and he's here all the time.
We got a local guy here. We got AC Country Club's Josh Kelly.
Josh
Hole in
Kelly,
one
the
shots.
trick shot guy, right?
All right, Josh, come on, baby. Get it done, Josh. We're rooting for you, baby. Come on.
Let's go.
Local. Bring it home. Let's go.
That's
go.
right.
A
Let's
little
do it.
swing and ding it, baby shout.
But, I mean, Kyle Lowry's a great in basketball, and he loves golf, and he's out here grinding on the putting green for this event. He doesn't want to go out and embarrass himself either,
No.
especially at his own club.
No. Claire Hogle is a very popular player out here today, to say the least.
Yeah.
Very, very
I
popular.
don't understand. I don't get it, frankly.
No, you're not
Yeah.
seeing it.
Well, Moose, you and I were sitting there, and we were standing there. We were watching Paige hit quite a few shots. You know,
Yes.
we watched her hit driver, then we were watching her hit iron. And she literally turned to her caddy. She's like, I keep chunking it. But I'm like, there's how many people just, Paige, can I have a photo? Can I have a photo? And it's like, it might even be more than a PGA Tour player.
And she accommodates
She
basically
does.
everybody.
She does.
Yeah.
She's so kind, so nice, and
Yeah.
she's just turning around, taking photos with everybody. But I said to Moose, I said, "Wow, that must be tough, just sitting there and knowing, you're a creator. Do I belong here? Blah blah blah." And then you have 5,000 people standing behind you, yelling your name, trying to get a photo, and watching you hit balls.
And she's
then if
got a
you-
great golf swing.
She does. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you chunk one, and that's the only thing people remember.
Yeah, we did, and we saw Jim Smith, the great Jim Smith, from here at Philly Cricket Club. It was awesome to talk to him. He is the COO, director of golf, and the funny part was he's like, I don't have anything to do. Like,
Right.
They came in here and they just took over. They
Right.
took the place over. But we did get some insights from him. Everyone listen in, lean in here, because we asked him. We said, this is your course. You see these guys. You know how it's set up. What do you think's going to happen out here? He's predicting a score in the low 20s.
Yeah.
I said 22 under was my
yeah,
number.
he said like
Yeah.
22, 25.
He said he could see it if it starts to get tough, because he said they tried to get the greens are not as firm as they want them to be right now.
Because of the water, the rain, yeah.
Yep. He said, but if it does toughen up, he said maybe it goes into the low teens, but he sees it in 20. So great insights from the great Jim Smith, former guest of Swing It and Ding It, and the host of this fantastic event here today.
Yeah, they got to hope that it dries out a little bit. I know they're expecting some rain on Friday again, I believe. But if they get, some winds to kick up on the weekend, maybe they can keep that number in the teens.
And they're already planning ahead. He told Moose and I, he's like, they already changed the tee times to have them going out in threesomes.
Right. Yeah, it started
So-
11:09
Exactly.
on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, all right, let's talk about this tournament, right? We talked about 7,100, par 70, talking a little about the scores. I don't think we're going to see a 31 under 253 like Scotty last week.
No. How about that?
I mean, You sent me the numbers that they did on Sunday, and I was shocked because that tournament was over by Friday.
Well, there was nothing else on.
Okay.
There was no NBA until nighttime. There was no NHL until nighttime. I know the Phillies played at like
Baseball,
2 in the
yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
But they really had nothing going up against it. But I was still curious because it was such a runaway. But it shows you one thing. People love to see dominance. They love to see
Totally.
greatness.
They do.
You know, it's like, I'm not comparing him to Tiger Woods. He's as close maybe to Tiger Woods as we've gotten since Tiger Woods. That I will say. But when Tiger Woods was running away with tournaments, people couldn't turn the television off.
Yeah.
It's something about just seeing a guy just making birdies and just blowing away the field that is compelling.
You know what it was like? The Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like, do I even want to finish watching
Yeah.
this? Like, there's no way this thing ends any other way.
Yeah.
He could have bogeyed the last, 7 holes
Right.
and still
It didn't
been fine.
matter.
Yeah.
I watched a good bit of it, and I don't know if you saw the shot on 9. He hit his tee shot. It's a par 5, and he hit his tee shot into a fairway bunker that had it had a lip on it. It wasn't one of those flat ones you see in Florida, right? It had a lip on it. He hits a 3-iron out of the fairway bunker to about 15 feet and stopped it. And I was I'm texting with people. I'm like, did you see that? and then he made eagle. He made the putt for eagle. It's just like, he's ahead by 6 shots, and he's still trying to fire at pins out of fairway bunkers with 3 irons and makes an eagle.
It's unbelievable.
It really was.
Anything else stand out from you from last week? It's tough to talk about anything other than Scotty, but anything else, any other guys you see trending in the right direction?
Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
Spieth.
Yeah.
Who we just saw.
Yeah.
But do you think it was his hometown? Wait, actually, time out. Let's circle back to Scotty, because I remember we talked about this, and you're like, no, something's wrong, da-da-da. And I was like, nothing's wrong. He's just...
I thought he was still injured. I still thought he had a... We're talking about Scheffler, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
the weight of expectation.
Yeah.
You thought it was the
Yep.
weight. I thought
And
it was the injury.
And I said, no,
he's fine.
He's just waiting. He's just waiting.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's
And
just
now, of
fine.
course, he skips this week.
I know.
Which
Yeah.
is a bummer.
Yeah.
It really is.
That is a
Yeah.
bummer.
Yeah.
But Jordan Spieth also, they were saying, hometown, almost just barely made the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 62 on Sunday? He went out early. And, he's in here this week on a sponsor's exemption.
You were giving him some swing tips out there, weren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I
Saw
was
that.
teaching him how to hit that 4-iron,
Yeah.
He's hitting
We saw you on
hitting
the
it a
range.
little thin.
Hey, George.
Harry looked like a coach out
Hey.
there. He's standing right behind him.
Well,
he had
yeah.
the classic arms crossed,
Well,
standing
I
there,
know what to do.
Oh, hey, I'm not saying you don't, Yeah, Moose and I just stood back, admired you,
It was beautiful.
giving some intel.
Yeah, I was
there.
hanging there with George Gankis was on the range.
So Spieth wins this week. Harry gets
I'll
5%.
tell you, maybe.
There's a
That'd be great.
beehive of activity out there.
Oh, it is.
And out here now. I mean, and we talked about this too, right? They had to get a Pro-Am in today and then turn around and have the Creator Classic.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't have got a better day today for this.
That's
weather
terrific.
It's absolutely beautiful out here. It's great to see the Wissahickon course as it is. It took me a second to get oriented and figure out where I was, but now I can kind of see back towards the clubhouse where we are now. But
There's just so much going on. You can't. They don't allow you to walk on the cart path. That has to change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because there's not. But right now, the amount of carts out here, they had to because of, like you said, the tournament Pro-Am, now the Creator Classic. They have to give people like me a ride.
Yeah.
They're
There's-
all over the place. But they actually have the amount of volunteers out here. They have like a path patrol
Yes.
that are making sure that you do not step a foot on the
Oh,
path.
yeah.
Get on the grass, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Watch the tram car.
They're all in the
That's
purple shirts.
Yeah.
But isn't it amazing how the build-out changes your viewpoint of the golf course?
Oh yeah.
it's insane. Yeah, I mean, it especially a place like this that's so pure and so wide open where
Yeah.
you can see so much, and now you can't. Right,
Right.
You're kind of blocked out by the grandstands and all the facilities they have up here. So it really changes the entire look of the golf course. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, when you look out, it is the most beautiful, pure golf course.
Wissahickon Creek
I
we
mean,
saw running through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking back up over here where you come back around to that short par 3, and it's just
Beautiful.
I mean, the people that live right there along, they have a great view this week.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Up
right
along
right
number
on the
8 and
course.
9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great holes.
Which
great
is
golf holes.
number 1 and 2 this week.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's going
Because
to
they
really
need a
mess
different
me up all
finishing hole,
week.
right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is going to mess
Why
me
is
up.
that? Why?
Well, they can't have the build-out out. There's no room by
For the
the 18th
grandstands.
hole
It's
for
such a great
grandstands.
18th
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah,
It's
it is
so-
a
It
great
is.
finishing hole.
Is
but
that playing 11?
It's playing number 11, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that is one of the greatest finishing holes. So, Harry, let's talk. We talked about the course, of course, but we didn't do it officially. Give us a couple highlights of what people are going to be able to kind of tune into and see when they're choosing their TV coverage here.
All right, and this place I think is going to look spectacular on television too, which will be cool. It's the oldest country club in the United States. And A.W. Tillinghast, it's his masterpiece back in 1922. He loved the place so much that his ashes were actually scattered on the property somewhere around the 18th green and that creek, the little babbling brook that rolls through there. Of course, he did Bethpage Black, he did Baltusrol, Wingfoot, Ridgewood, some of the finest old school country clubs in the Northeast. And Keith Foster came in here in 2013 and restored it. They were going to do it in 2008, and then the economy tanked, so they had to put it off until 2013. And they took down all these trees and, brought the bunkers back to the way AW had them. And they were doing that in preparation for the 2016 Constellation, which was the senior tour event that Bernhard Langer won here back a few years ago. Par 70. 7,119 yards. It plays short for these guys.
There goes Paige, Harry.
The average green size, 5,800 square feet. They're bent grass greens. Some of these guys, you start looking at trying to wager. There's certain guys in the field that really love putting on bent grass greens. You got to find some of those guys. But the fairways are also bent. The rough is fescue. I was out in it on Monday. It's over 3 inches thick or deep, and it's very thick. And with the rain that they got this week, they're not cutting it, so it might be 4 inches by come the weekend. So be aware of that. The fairways 30 to 32 yards wide, pretty forgiving. There's water hazards in play only on 6 holes, but there are bunkers, 118 of them, and they're all pushed up green complexes, well protected by sand. 2 par 5s, number 5 and 15. You have the Great Hazard, which is right out here on. Plays as number 7 for the members, but it's number 15. It's this huge, giant, bunker that takes up the whole fairway, almost like similar to Pine Valley's, the one hole they have at Pine Valley, which I think is number 7 as well. The 4 par 3s, number 3, 8, 14, and 16, and they range from 122 yards. Number 14's the shorty, up to 240 yards, which is number 8. And they got 3 long par 4s, number 11, 7, and 18, 17, and 18. That's the finish. The 2 long par 4s, which for you, Moose, when you're out here with your buddies playing, is number 6 is playing as 17, and number 4 is playing as 18. So they changed the routing around a little bit.
Got it.
So the wind direction is going to be in your face on 18. It was different on the practice round, and I see it's turned back. I can see the flag from here.
Yeah.
It'll be in their face coming in on 18. It'll be at their back on 17.
Beautiful.
So there you go, the course for
Very nice.
the Penn Club on 2nd.
Beautiful.
In Conchi.
Want to spill a little tea?
Let's do
live
it.
tea?
Yeah, let's do just a little bit.
Go for it.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but right after the Masters, we saw Rory chipping into a washing machine. He did the same thing when he was younger, so he was on Jimmy Fallon, and they literally said, okay, let's see if you can still do it. And he literally just sat there chipping balls into the washing machine.
That's where we got our idea from, and we had Gearhards, the great sponsor for our outing.
Outing.
We had
Powers
chipping
put that
into a
together.
dryer.
Yeah.
The great Mike Powers.
Yeah.
Somebody walked away with a nice dryer. We're going to do that again October 20th, by the way. Just announced. Swing it and ding it.
Mark your calendars,
Open.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And then also I saw this. I shot it over to the group text. There was an emergency landing at Riviera Country Club.
Oh.
You see that? Did you see that plane coming
yeah.
in? It was so squirrely. It was like on 2 wheels, on 1 wheel, like
right
back
on number
and forth.
9 and 10.
And
Yeah.
whoever was there, like it looks like probably like 9 fairway, was just recording this, watching him come in hot. Thankfully, no injuries, nothing happened. It was a successful landing, but
Yeah.
just, hey, when you're up there and you see a wide open fairway, where else are you going to go?
Now-
Better than landing, middle of a highway.
I know there was some luck involved there, but I think that was a pretty darn skilled pilot to keep
Very.
that plane from turning over once it hit the ground, man. That was really –
It was
the
impressive.
people out there filming, I'm like, do you realize this is a plane
Dangerous?
coming in? Like, they're within like 10 yards of this
Content
plane.
first, Howard. Content first.
Isn't that crazy?
And then maybe not tea, but I would like to share just a little bit of this. I had a, probably 4 a.m. wake up on Tuesday morning. I took the 7 a.m. out of PBI, and as I'm walking through the airport, I'm like, wait, one golfer, two golfer, three golfers. There's also a U.S. Open qualifier in Philly this week. So coming from PBI to Philly, it was a loaded plane at the 7 a.m. time. But one of those golfers happened to be no other than Patrick Sheehan.
Okay.
Just kind of smiled, waved at him in the morning.
Penn State's
And then-
finest.
yes, sir. And a
Friend of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Harry's taking my words for me. This is making my job easy here. So long story short, I get to the carousel to get our luggage, and he comes up to me and he goes, "My mom loves your show. She listens to it every
What?
Saturday at the start of her run, like everything else." He offered to help me with my luggage, the kindest kid ever. We walk out there, and then his mom walks up to me, and she continues to say how much she's learning from the show, what a fan she is. So just wanted to give a shout out to Karen, the nicest woman ever, and a fan
Beautiful.
of the show. So Moose, can we get her some merch?
No problem.
Can we send some
it would
stuff
be my
over?
pleasure.
Oh,
Yep. You
thank
give
you.
me the
That is
address.
awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for listening to us. We appreciate you being a fan of the show. She gets some knowledge from Harry sharing the course, of course,
We got
each
one.
week.
We got somebody listening.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Let's keep
So we
it going.
appreciate it. Wanted to give her that shout
That's
out. That
awesome.
was a cool moment. So I enjoyed talking to her.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, well, let's see the line with our friends at Bet Parks, and let's hear a little bit more about Bet Parks.
Quiet on set.
All right, let's see the line. What do we got here? I don't know.
Well-
This is tough for me.
It is. And I was talking to a
Harry,
couple
wait,
of people.
time out. You got to share what happened.
Say what?
It can't be tough for you. We know who you're taking.
Oh, well, that's that's. But I was talking to some people though about the sort of the mindset of some of these players this week, because we have a major championship coming up next week. As everybody knows, that's why this golf course is being used.
Yep.
Because they're going to Quail Hollow for the PGA, and I've been told that there's certain players in the field that are just sort of looking at this week, no cut, there's no sweat. They're just sort of going through the motions, getting ready for next week more so than maybe going out to try to win this
Same
thing.
type of graphs.
Now, if they end up being, playing their rear ends off their first 2 days, obviously they go and try to win it. But keep your eye on some of these guys, as it's going
great
through.
point.
If you start betting as you watch, live bet and kind of thing,
Yep.
you're going to get a feel in these first 2
You're gonna go
days
quick.
who's really here
Yeah.
to win it and who's here just to kind of get through it, make their check, and go into next week.
Stay
So
warm for next week.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
a great point. Yeah.
exactly. But yes, my one and done pick. I think
Yeah.
it's been given to me by the gods, the golfing gods, because when I was here on Monday, one of the first pros that I ran into, and I ran into him 3 times within 20 minutes, was Tommy Fleetwood. And I saw him again today, one of the first guys I saw, and then I saw him where he's standing right in front of me. I'm like, I'm getting a selfie. I don't do selfies, okay? I don't even know how to do selfies most of the time. I figured it out while he was interviewing with one of the local TV anchors, and I said, "Hey, Tommy, I took you this week. Can I get a photo?" And he said, "Sure." And I went, boom. And I'm telling you, this is the week that he breaks through and gets his win on the PGA Tour.
Look at that.
Terrific
Yeah.
iron
All
player.
it takes is one picture.
One,
That's
one
it.
selfie. Because if
That's
I
it.
recall me saying something about Tommy a couple weeks ago, Harry goes, "But Tommy doesn't win." And that's what I said to Harry. I go, "Wait a second." But hey, we figured it out, Moose. All it needs is a photo,
That's
right?
it.
So-
That's it.
tell
I
you
don't
what.
do selfies, but I did one for Tommy Fleetwood.
And then I got a photo of Harry holding up the selfie. I'll have to put that on the story. It's beautiful.
If it's any indication, the last 2 guys to leave the putting green today, it looks like Tony Finau and Denny McCarthy were 2 of the last guys out there
I mean,
grinding
we-
on their
We
putts.
saw
Right?
Tony out here for how long?
Tony
and
was out
literally,
here,
I was
came
about
back.
to run out
He
and
came back,
grab him.
too.
We
Yeah.
missed him by 25
Does
seconds.
Denny McCarthy need to practice putting? I mean,
I don't know.
He's smooth with it.
yeah. And how about all the caddies getting the levels out on the putting green? They've all got the levels in the golf bag. They get them out and measure the, left to right, whether the break is one way or the other. But Tommy Fleetwood's plus 2,200 at Bet Parks. And I'm also taking him in a matchup at minus 120 over Henley. And Henley's getting a lot of love
Yes.
this week. And the fact that they got him favored over Henley tells me good things, too. Plus 200 in a top 10. I'm all Fleetwooded up. Shane Lowry was another guy I kind of like, plus 2,800. And you talk about Spieth off of last week, getting the exemption in here, plus 2,800. He's hitting the driver great. And, short game, nobody's better. You're missing greens around here. He's going to find a way to get up and down. Justin Rose was a guy, plus 5,000. He's got the win at Aronimink years ago in the AT&T, and then came back for the BMW and finished second to Keegan Bradley,
Yeah.
and then won here at Marion
Yeah.
in 2013. So he obviously loves bent grass. I think 7 of his Big 10 wins, 10 big wins, are on bent grass greens. So he loves the Northeast.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, you have
like that.
Rory way top of the board, right? Plus 400. Colin Morikawa sitting right there.
Yep.
Xander, JT, Oberg. I like Cantlay. I don't know why. Just
Really?
a hunch. 2,000. And I keep going back to Keegan Bradley, that plus 4,000 number, a guy that, I don't know, I could just see him winning a tournament like this. I don't think there's a prep week for Keegan Bradley. I think anytime he puts the tee in the ground, he's looking to
He's
win a
ready.
golf
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of guy that you need this week.
I feel like most guys, unless you're, Brooks.
Or like
Or-
working
or,
on
yeah,
something
yeah, they're just
specific
kinda
or
like-
coming back from an injury or something like that. But
Yeah,
how about our guy Minwoo Lee? He was down
Cooking.
with our buddy Danny from Angelo's, cooking, making pizza.
Well, you
bread.
asked him how
How Angela's was,
how
yeah.
it was. Yeah, he loved it.
He
He
said he
did?
loved it.
Yeah.
He said he loved it. So it was a beautiful thing.
Wait, I want to ask you real quick, though, because you mentioned Spieth in on a sponsor's exemption. Who are the other 2 that were in?
I got him right here.
Yeah.
It's Keith Mitchell,
Okay.
Gary Woodland, and
Spieth-
Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's what we're talking about, right? So I put it on story the other day. We saw Eric Van Rooyen saying, they asked him, because he had a grind to get in, and they said, what do you think about this? He goes, how honest do you want me to be? And proceeded to say, I think the best fields are the largest fields where everybody can play, because there's, the ongoing debate where it's the top 70. How does anybody break into that or
Yeah.
recycle? But then when you see these sponsors exemptions, it is names like Spieth,
Yep. Yeah.
Ricky Fowler, Woodland, Keith Mitchell. It's not like it's, anybody that maybe is like really hot. Like I liked when exemptions used to be like, hey, this guy on Korn Ferry just won. He's hot right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
he deserves an exemption. He lives in Philly. Like Harry Higgs isn't playing great right now, but imagine Harry Higgs out here
with the Philly crowd.
Philly crowd
Oh, yeah.
following him. They would, probably sell 700 more tickets at least.
Yeah.
Like I miss kind of when sponsors exemptions were a little bit like that, but
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of point that out because I did see Eric Van Rooyen
Absolutely.
tweet that.
And then we had Day withdrew with a neck problem, I believe. Jason Day. Billy Horschel's
Horschel.
out because he's getting his hip operated on out in Colorado and expects to be back by the end of the summer. So it doesn't sound like a major procedure. It sounds like maybe
Micro.
he's get a little cleaned up, maybe a labrum issue. I don't know. He's not getting a hip replacement. It's
well,
my point.
nowadays they have literally. That's why he's probably going to that certain specific doctor, and it's like, okay, they go in, it's real quick, it's minor. They try to fix your issue, and then you rehab for a little bit, and you're back. It's like getting your wisdom teeth out.
Amazing. Really amazing.
We're getting our first look here on YouTube at the Creator Classic. It was great to see that, first fairway as the guys just teed off. This is interviews from a couple minutes ago, but they just showed the first group go off. It looks,
yeah.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean,
you see him
I
going
love
down
the
fairway
green
behind
complex
us.
on that first hole, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
number 8. It's so cool. It's like a 360-yard hole. So these guys would probably be hitting a lot of irons off that first tee. But what a cool green complex. The biggest plays on the one and done apparently are Xander Schauffele,
Okay.
Victor Hovland,
I love Victor.
and Justin Rose and JT.
Really?
But Corey Connors
I might
is a
be on
guy.
a Justin Rose this week.
Corey Connors is a guy to watch. I already used him, so I can't. But if I didn't already use him, I would seriously look at him this week.
Really?
Yeah. He likens this place to Canada. Apparently was playing off the fairways, the bent grass, and said, man, this reminds me of a summer in Canada. Like,
And when
feels
it reminds you of
very at
home?
home. It feels very at home.
Feel good.
I feel at home, Harry. We saw some of our great Legacy Club members. We saw some great 1912 Club members.
Oh,
Some of
yeah.
our friends, listeners to the podcast, just walking around. Powers, where are we going to be set up on Friday? Different location. So if you're coming
Yeah.
out on Friday, we're in Independence Square. Is that what it's called?
Correct. Independence Square. We're going to be right next to your favorite place, the merch store.
Hey.
Yeah, but how about this? We've
Yeah,
got
we
some
talked
inside
about this.
information that the powers that be did not let the Philly Cricket logo on the merch, which could not have been a bigger miss
Wow.
in the world.
Yeah, I
And,
agree.
That will cost them some serious sales.
Look at this
Yeah, the
beautiful
logo on
that
my
Harry's
hat.
wearing.
Yeah.
But they did tell us they're using the alternate logo. So like the one with the arc like around it, and he said they can use that, and then the other one's just going to be that truest with like the crown with a little golf ball on top. But what a miss, right?
Yeah.
But they actually they buy out the pro shop, so then they have control.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And then-
bought out the whole pro shop.
Yeah.
They also they're copying our style. They got some Philly golf stuff in there.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah, I was pretty upset.
You want to slap him with a copyright infringement?
Yeah, let's get it.
We should have done that.
Wow.
What is going on?
Jeff knows some lawyers.
Yeah. And we just had one on the show.
Brooke, let's get Brooke
Brooke,
back
get back
here.
here.
Let's get Brooke Goff in here. Let's go.
We have a big issue.
All right, well, thank you for listening. We're excited to be out here. We're looking forward to getting out back here on Friday. If you're coming out on Friday, stop by and see us. Independence Square area. We'll be hanging out live with
Maybe in
Sean
rain
Brace from
jackets.
Fox Sports The Gambler. Yeah, hopefully that weather moves, but keep an eye on it all week, and we'll see you out here. Philly Cricket Club.